the pale what we do is we make the dinners they make Shehechiyanu on Rosh Hashanah. The shaila is an argument whether Yom Tov Sheni and Rosh Hashanah you're supposed to make a Shehechiyanu also because it's Yom Arichta. It's one long kedusha. So do you say that or do you say that? No, sometimes in the Zman Beis Hamikdash Yom Sheni was the Ikar Yom Tov because the way they're mekadosh Riyah. So since we do it the way they did it, therefore we also make a Shehechiyanu on Yom Tov Sheni. So since it's a machlekes, we want to be Yitzel Chol Hadeyos, and we have a new fruit or a beged chadash on Yom Tov Sheni, which we have in mind when we say the Shehechiyanu by Kiddush. So we're going to discuss the Shailas Taka, what's considered a Pri Chadash and what can you make a Shehechiyanu on. So the makar of the din of a Shehechiyanu on a Pri Chadash is an Erevin. The Gemara over there is also talking about Rosh Hashanah. In the first Maramakin, the Gemara says, "Va'amar Rabba, ki havina bei Rav Huna ibayilon." We were at Rav Huna's house. We asked him, or as yeshiva, we asked him, "Mahu leimar zman b'Rosh Hashanah b'Yom Kippurim?" Are we supposed to say Shehechiyanu on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippurim? What's the shaila? Kivin the bizman asi amrinan. Do we say that since it's Yom Tov which only comes from time to time, therefore we say Shehechiyanu? Oidilma kivin the loy ikri regalim le'amrinan. Or maybe the Shehechiyanu is after something connected with a regal, and it's after the shleisha regalim they make a Shehechiyanu, and not Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, which is not called regal. So v'lei have the other. He didn't have an answer. Ki asoi bei Rav Yehuda. When they came to Rav Yehuda, Amar Ana. They asked him the shaila. He told them, "What's this question? Ana akara chadata nami aminas man. I even make a shehechiyanu on a kara, not just some type of vegetable. And even on a new kara, I make a bracha shehechiyanu. For sure, on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, you can make a shehechiyanu." So Amar Lei, they answer him, "Rishus leikami kami bayali." We're asking if we're able to make rishus. Ki kami bayali chayva. The question was, are we obligated to make a shehechiyanu on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur?
Not could you make through circumstances, but rather is there a chiyuv in the Esamayim?
Yeah, and over there, the maskana of the Gemara is that there is a chiyuv in the Esamayim making a shehechiyanu. But derech agav, what you see from the Gemara is the din of making a shehechiyanu on a new food. So the Gemara said, and you see that it's a shus. You see there's a shus. If you want, you can make a shehechiyanu on a new fruit. So that's the Gemara. That's the makar of the din. So since you would think naturally, what's the din of making a shehechiyanu? You think when you eat it, you make a bracha shehechiyanu. But you look in Rashi over there. Rashi says it's nothing to do with eating. Rashi says akara chadata kishani roya dilas chadasha mishana lashana amina zman. When I see this new vegetable, I make a bracha shehechiyanu. So meikar din, the whole din of shehechiyanu, a new fruit, has nothing to do with achila. It has to do with even just seeing it. You can even, as soon as you see a new fruit, you can already make a bracha shehechiyanu. Go on.
Bikurim, as soon as you see it.
All right, yeah.
What do you mean bikurim? As soon as you see it, you put a thing on it. Yeah, but I don't make much.
Okay. So why do we make a bracha when we see a new fruit? And also this din is that Shehechiyanu say that even not yours, if you see your friend has a new fruit, you can already make a shehechiyanu just from seeing it in your friend's hands. It has nothing to do with eating it.
I saw it.
Yeah, just say as soon as you see it, you can already make a shehechiyanu. So why did it change? Why do we only make a shehechiyanu when we eat it, not when we see it? So all the Shehechiyanu bring it down. The second Maramach I brought the snack. He says, if you see a new fruit and you have hana from seeing it, make a shehechiyanu. And if you don't have such a hana from seeing it, only from eating it, then so therefore you only make a bracha on the achila.
What kind of hana is there in the ear?
See, it's a new zman. You see, you're all excited that the fruits are coming back into the market. They're going to be available. Till now, they weren't around. You're happy. You'll see that the produce is coming back. Saying nowadays it's hard to relate to, right? Because we have the produce all year round. But so all the Rishonim bring this down that the minhag became to only make a shehechiyanu when you eat it, not when you see it. Of course, not everyone has enough from when you see it, and the levush is another reason because sometimes people see it and they don't realize it, and so therefore you just made something which is clear cut. When you eat it, you make a shehechiyanu. It's clear cut, a lot easier. That's what we do. Or you make the shehechiyanu when you eat it. So. Right, so that's that in. So the next discussion is what counts as a new fruit, right? Rashi said, the last chadasha mishana l'shana, which would come from year to year. So things come a few times. How often? What type of fruits can make a shehechiyanu? If something is around all year round, can you make a shehechiyanu? So the Darchi Moshe brings down from the Tshuva from Marivail that something which is on the ground all year round, you cannot make a shehechiyanu on it. The third Marimakim, Darchi Moshe writes, Marivail kosav de'im mevarchin shehechiyanu al yarek chadash, on a new vegetable. Why? Mishum de'imin al karka kol hashana. It sits on the ground all year round.
What does that mean?
De'im nikar bein chadash liyashan. You can't tell the difference between a new one or an old one. It's all the same. You don't appreciate it.
If it grows the whole time, throughout the
What do you
year.
mean it grows all the time?
So it sounds like we're talking about something like a esrog. No, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, something like a esrog.
I mean, he says a yarek, not a tree.
I don't know what type of vegetable, but it's some type of vegetable which will be attached to the ground all year round, and you can always pick it, so
No, if it
you wouldn't
grows-
be able to tell the
if
difference.
the vegetable grows 2-3 times a year, it's not called then it has
They have
So-
multiple growing seasons.
So the question, there aren't too many vegetables like this which are on the ground all year round. So the Magen Avraham gives a more practical case. It says that you could also sometimes they store them in the ground, and therefore they have them available all year round. So that's in the fourth Maramakim. It says Kalaymar Shematminu Naisei Bekarka. They would take these, they would bury them in the ground, the bayris. But I made Kol Hashana, and would stay like that all year round, and therefore all year round they had these fruits and vegetables, these produce available.
They're not matmid b'karka, but they have all the new
Freezers.
Refrigeration.
freezers. You can have a lot of the fruits all year round. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you didn't have.
No, I don't think
Oh,
it
so we'll
means
see.
that you had it in an open space in the ground. I think it
They
means
buried it.
They buried it.
Yeah, but you're
It's
saying you have freezers nowadays
It's
also.
called, it's
In
called a
olden
root
days.
cellar. A root cellar. They used to have it. It was a little colder. The temperature was
Not
more
in the
like.
open ground. Not in. But you're talking about open ground. They made a space over there, like a closet. I don't think that's what he means over there.
Yeah, I do think he is virus. He's talking about virus.
So they
It's like
had
storage. It's like cold storage or whatever.
So they had some way of
Where
storing
do you use the word virus over here?
in the fourth
four,
Maramakim,
in
Magen
four.
Avraham. They were buried in the ground, and therefore it will last all year round. So these vegetables, which they had all year round, so you can't make a shehechiyanu, and because no one appreciates it, there's no big deal. Who gets the difference between new and an old one? No, you always have it. Right? The potatoes, that's a typical example. They had the potatoes all year round. They would bury them.
Cucumbers, tomatoes, all these things over here.
So I don't know.
Tomatoes
Okay.
are more fragile. Than
So now the Sachin.
we're talking about storage now. We're not talking about growing. We're talking about storage. Tomatoes aren't going to last.
So this was even back then, but now they had some vegetables so they had all year round. But nowadays, so much more. So you get things imported. You have these special houses, greenhouses that they grow things even during the winter. So what's the din nowadays? So the Achrein talk about that certain vegetables which you have all year round. You can make shehechiyanu. In the fifth Maramakim Shuvas Van Haggis, he writes, Shaila, someone asked, B'medina Seidon Miyabim Peiris, the people they bring fruits, B'nimsaim Peiris, B'meshach Kol Hashana, and they're around all year. Im Lavar Shehechiyanu al Peiris Chadashim, are you able to make a shehechiyanu on these new fruits? So he says, "V'hinei l'chayda hadin b'zeh." L'chayda halacha is kemvur b'ramah reish chafesiv katan and vav that beprisha imid kol hashana bekarka, that a vegetable which sits in the ground all year round she'inu mevarich shehechiyanu v'lachin inu mevarich, and therefore you don't make a shehechiyanu and you can't make it. V'she'in mevarchim ela al davar habali zman lizman. Because you only make a shehechiyanu on something which comes from time to time. Ein sham mishnah brura. They can gam came so too here nowadays. Im ein heker bein pedishim miyabim lebein pedish chadashim. If you can't tell the difference between the fruits which they get imported all year round and to the pedish chadashim which are grown locally, ein simcha ve'in orei levarich. There's no simcha, and you can't make a bracha shehechiyanu on it. So yeah, so I'm saying,
Don't we basically
so I'm saying
say,
apples, all these fruits which you have in the nearby stores all year round, you can't make shehechiyanu.
Yeah, but don't we go with the rule that whether I had it this year or not? I mean, like.
No, Chayda doesn't go.
No, pictures can get all year round now, but I'm asking you, that's a minimum.
Right, so I'm saying if you have them in the store, if by Lerman's, they have it all year round. So
Chayda doesn't have it. You have to go to downtown.
so things which are common, which you can find all over the place, you can't make a shehechiyanu because it's all over the place. You can't. There's no chiddush. So the question is, what about fruits which you could get, but it's not common and it's really expensive? You have to go to some special store which they get things imported and things are very expensive. It's not. It's hard to get. It's not this. You don't have them. Most of the stores don't have them, and they go for expensive. What would be the din then? So Chivas Van Hagas, he wants to say that on that you could make a Shehechiyanu. He says why? So he gets a shtickle chakira. Now, what's the din of why are we making a bracha Shehechiyanu? Is it because we have hana, where we're enjoying the fruit that we eat? Or is it because we're thanking the Eibishter that the whole zman that the produce is in stock and it's all over and it's available and people have what to eat, and that's why we make a Shehechiyanu? Is it just because I have this fruit and I'm enjoying it, or because it's available? So he says that he wants to say the bracha is because it's available, and therefore even if you find if there's one store, you have to go all the way down to Manhattan, it's the only store that has it, and they sell it for very expensive. That's not called something which is available, and even though you could get over there all year round, but when the season comes in and it's available in all the stores and it's available for everyone, you can still make a Shehechiyanu. So that's in the 6th Maramakim. It says in Miyunire, the Iker Chi of Shehechiyanu b'Shasur Iyah. The main bracha Shehechiyanu is when you see it. Since the main bracha is when you see it, and even though the fruit is sitting on the tree on your friend's hand, you can make Shehechiyanu and it has nothing to do with eating it. And why is that? Well, you didn't have any hana from it, you didn't benefit from it. This is the reason why. Must be that the reason you make the bracha Shehechiyanu isn't because of the pleasure and the hana you have, rather it's because of the new season that's coming in. And now these fruits that they grow now are going to be available. So he says this is the reason for the Shehechiyanu. Well, the fiza daiti noita. According to based on this, he wants to say she'im yavin. Okay, if they import bashir shematzi b'chanoyis in the shear that they bring and import enough that it's matzi in all the stores, and then they bring it to all the stores and you have it over here also, then you can't make a bracha Shehechiyanu when it's out in the market, and you can't make a bracha on the local stuff also. But if only a little bit gets imported from other countries and it's not common and it's expensive, and it's not only it's also not in all the stores. It's only in certain stores who specialize in these fruits. So there still is a simcha that the payers are available and it's in the market, and therefore you could make a Shehechiyanu, even though there was some store somewhere where you could have found these fruits.
So in other words, the ikar making Shehechiyanu was to when you see it on the tree.
Yeah.
For us, we're not farmers and we don't have trees, so we do it when we have enough from it.
Or we don't get we're not so excited about seeing it on the trees, and we have the main hanos from when we eat it. But really, he wants to say from the fact that you see you can make a bracha when it's on the tree, you see that has nothing to do with your personal hana. The bracha is on that it's available. That is.
That's like that.
And
available, or did David Shabbat created it?
Both. The Eibishter made it available for everyone.
It's not available.
Yeah.
Available for me, or just available in the world?
Us. That's part of the machlekes. Yeah, because of the chiyuv, which chiyuv comes first.
You're not talking about this. When you make your Shehechiyanu.
Yeah, no, I wasn't getting it.
The whole belt makes the bracha residential.
Yeah, because they say tader sheni tader kedem. But yeah, but on the other hand, yes, it's machlekes. Yes, machlekes between Megadim and Hilchos Chanos. So there's a tshuva from Ramesha, where Ramesha also says in the Kudah that the main bracha isn't just from Shehechiyanu, isn't on how that you're having, it's on the fact that it's available in the market. In the 7th Maramakim, he says, "V'lochin hanochin lanias daiti, de'ein hatam mishum shaleka simcha mikivan she'ika kol hashana mihem." The reason you don't make a bracha on peiros which you had all year round is because you don't have a simcha from it. Devali simcha gdeila b'yeser hu b'zeh Hashem Yisbarach asa shenitzbuchu peiros chadashim. For sure, this is simcha the fact that Eibishter made new peiros shebishvil zeh yiyu peiros be'ilam gam b'shana haba, which based on this which therefore the upcoming year you're also going to have fruits.
So what's his point? What is he
so the point
then?
someone was asking him was, let's say if you have some you're not getting things imported, but you have some way of making things last. You have some technology to make the payers last throughout the whole year. but it only grows in a certain season. But you can make them last. You can make them stay fresh the whole year. So could you make a Shehechiyanu? So he wanted to say that he wanted to say you couldn't make a Shehechiyanu because the bracha is on your personal simcha. The bracha is that it's available and it's coming and it's a new season. And because now, if not for this season, it won't be available for next year. So therefore, he wanted to argue that you couldn't make a Shehechiyanu. He wasn't talking and saying fruits which you have imported.
If you keep it.
He wanted to say you could because
when
you have
the
the simcha
comes,
that the Eina came. It's a new
season.
season and the fruits are fresh fruits are coming in.
So you have a couple of fruits, a couple of fruits. You make only one Shehechiyanu on a couple of fruits that you didn't have.
Yeah, the Ishal Avram, but he says he make one Shehechiyanu on all them. Unless it wasn't there, he only wrote it in later. So there's but the question is, if you're saying the question comes up, if we're saying the whole reason why you make a Shehechiyanu is because that it's available in the season. So let's say you want to get a new fruit you didn't have before. So you went to one of these rare stores that have these rare fruits, and they had for you bought an expensive fruit which isn't in all the stores. Can you make a Shehechiyanu on it?
No.
Do you say because I have it?
It has to be the una.
But it's in a different place. They imported it from China, somewhere where they had the Ina. So on one hand, it's not motzi in the stores now. So but on the other hand, I'm having my hanana. So in Shus and the Chus Manhagis, he says so you see the minhag is that people do make a Shehechiyanu. He says he doesn't understand why it bothers him, but he says that's the minhag. Neif Maramakim says Vani Navuch Bezeh. He's confused about this question. He doesn't know what to say about making a shecha on a new fruit that you got, which is not around in all the stores. From Dina the Gemara you see you can make a bracha already on seeing it. Behind which this tells you because he's happy. Because from then on you're going to be happy that the fruits are back in stock. And the Seyd bracha on the food is on the food which is going to be available now. But if you happen to chance upon a rare fruit, okay, so that he found one which was imported. He says, I'm not sure if the Chamim were misnakin Shehechiyanu on such a fruit as well. It's not a continuous hana. You're going to have it once and you won't find it again. He says, to say safe and enemy hapri. He says people when they can make bracha because you are having hana. So he's confused why it's bothering him, but he says that's what the minhag is. So that's another discussion. So about fruits which aren't common, but you managed to get a hold of them. So you brought up the question for a while, freezers. So if you have a lot of fruits, even though they're not importing it, but you can get them frozen, put them in the freezer, and you have it all year round. Does that make you considered does that make a problem with Shehechiyanu? That you can't make a Shehechiyanu because you have them in your freezer. So the Shuf from the Ber Moshe says no, you can still make a Shehechiyanu because you can't compare frozen fruit to fresh fruit. You still have a big simcha. I don't know I guess what they were the Magen Avraham was talking about. They would bury them in the ground. I guess it would be in a way that you couldn't tell the difference between fresh ones and old ones. But fruits, which you could tell the difference, frozen fruits, everyone can tell the difference between something was frozen or not. So the ninth Maramachim writes, Peros hachadashim hagadolim mishana l'shana. They grow from year to year. Afal pisha b'medina seinu iskayim kol hashana. Even though in our countries they have them all year round. Baruch yesh levarich bircha Shehechiyanu al pri chadash hagal b'shana zu. For sure you should make a Shehechiyanu on new fruit which grows this year. Ki ein tamei u'marisa shel pri chadash. Because the taste of the new fruit is not kitamin u'marisin shel pius hamunachim b'chol hashana b'mekarer. You can't compare it to the taste of the fruits which are sitting in the freezer all year round. Usually they lose their the main taste. And usually can only eat a little bit. You can't eat too much of them. Whereas a new fruit, its taste is completely different. And you have the pleasure when you eat it with smeich and nikrase, and people are happy when it comes. It's clear that you could make a Shehechiyanu on the fruits when they come in, even though you had them frozen all year round. Yeah, so freezers aren't a problem. So the only problem with Shehechiyanu is if you have it all year round and they're fresh. Frozen things isn't a problem. You can still make Shehechiyanu when you get fresh ones.
Who's the Be'er
Moshe Stern,
Oh,
who the Betzimmer.
Carl.
Yeah. That's another discussion. Another question that comes up is what about dried fruits? Could you make a Shehechiyanu on dried fruits? It's a new season, and you have dried fruits from the new season. So can you make a Shehechiyanu? So the Isha Avram, the Butchacher, I think it was Tam of the Maggits, he's Mesupik. He says because you can't dried fruits you have all year round. You can't really tell the difference between a dried fruit from the new season or from the old season. So he questions whether you can make a Shehechiyanu on it. In the 10th Maramakim, he says Shehechiyanu al Yerakish and Ikonim bein Chadash liyashon. So the new fruits, when they're fresh, you can tell the difference between the old and new ones. But the main way of eating it is when they are pickled, or cooked. After you cook it or you pickle it, you can't tell the difference which one's from the new season or the old season. Sign the look, sign the taste. So I'm mesupik about this now. If he's mesupik, if you can make a Shehechiyanu, since if you know that it's new, until now is not available. The old one is not matzi. And somehow you have some hecker. You know which one is from the new year. You know this is from the new year. So it's lying case. He's not sure if you can make. He's mesupik whether dried fruits you can make or pickled things you can make a Shehechiyanu on it, even though it's from the new season. So I don't know. This makes a problem for tuba of.
But some of the dried fruits you only eat them dry.
Can you bring bikurim dried?
But those things are available all year round. You can't tell the difference.
What do you only dry?
I'm saying figs and dates. You
Figs are pretty. People.
Figs maybe.
Bikurim, can you
Which
bring
ones did I make a Shehechiyanu on?
Dry fruit?
on figs?
The Rebbe made a Shehechiyanu.
Fresh, green one from basket, dry. Dates that are not fresh or dry. I mean, it's we don't know them.
Wait, but the Rebbe made Shehechiyanu on dried ones or on the fresh ones?
I don't know if I mentioned it.
Doesn't mean they didn't make it.
We don't know what he's saying. But again, can you make a bikurim with dry? The Mishnah, can you make bikurim with dry fruits?
I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Your name that you Tenim cannot stay a long time, and he has to bring Sheva Aminim. He lives in the top of the galley. He's staying for 2 months, so he's going to put them on the muktzah, and he's going to bring them before Yom Tov as bikurim. The Mishnah close. So there is no. This is the una. I don't know why you don't.
So some places
on the una. The bikurim is in Shehechiyanu. The una. I don't know why you don't.
Fresh figs off your tree, I mean.
Yeah, fresh figs off the tree.
Yeah,
so a lot of places. So places want to say that you shouldn't make a Shehechiyanu on dried fruits because you can't tell the difference between the new ones and the old ones. So that's another discussion. And another important discussion that comes up is what about grafted fruits? I guess you mix different fruits together to make some unique citrus fruit. So
citrus is
the
Chazon Ish said there is no Akilai. It's about the prunus, about the nectarine. Rav Moshe Feinstein or Chaim Nunches. He passed to say nectarine because it's a kilai.
So that's the Hetiv over here. The Mishnah brings on Machlekes from the Hilchos Ktanis. Once says that since it's murkov, it was done through an isser. You're not allowed to do kilai, and therefore, since it's undone by isser, you can't make a Shehechiyanu on it. But he brings the Yaakov Enden argues. He says you could. Says in 11th Maramakim, the Be'er Halacha, says Kasav haber hetiv b'shem hilchos ktanis. The alperis hamurkavi min b'she'inei minoi. Ein mevarchin olav. You can't make a bracha Shehechiyanu on it. Lefisha b'tchilasi nasa negen mitzvah sabayre, because in the beginning they went against the Eiver Shesivai. But on the other hand, the b'tshuva shelas yayvetz chelik al zeh. He argues. He says the leinin briyos nois. making a bracha on nice things. Afal mamzer yivarach. You can make a bracha. So if you have a very nice looking person, you can make a bracha on him even if he's a mamzer. Ve'ein lecha harkava psula yesem imenu. There's no harkava psula more than this. So you can make a bracha also on kilayim. So pale, I don't think the Acharim say we're not machmir nowadays for a few different reasons, because a lot of it is done all through a goy, and some people, and there's a discussion, it could be kilayim is mutar al yedei goy, and also the issa, even according to the Eastern, is not get the first payers which came out from mixing the seeds together. But once you already created the new fruit, and you just take the seeds from that fruit and you keep replanting it, so then there's not going to be a problem.
Nobody plant from seeds.
Ever, from the branches, from the trees. Okay, however they do it.
Nobody ever. Nobody plants from seeds.
So those are slafel.
You talk about trees that you grafted.
All the fruit are grafted.
If it's not common, if it's saying in the place they say that on your case it's common all year round, but if it's some type of thing which you don't.
Many years ago, certain fruits weren't around.
You don't make a...
When we were growing up, we didn't have watermelon. Summertime, we were not around. The whole thing was the Shehechiyanu, this and that,
Yeah, the big sugar.
Today, it's much different than 30, 40, 50 years ago.
No, the point is that
Yeah.